Okay, folks, in this video, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about the movie poster project. Now, in my previous announcement video, I briefly went over the Photoshop tab here on the Laulima class website and showed you a brief overview of the Photoshop page and where everything is located, but I didn't go too much into the actual project itself, and that's what this video is for. I wanted to give you folks a little bit more guidance on what I am expecting you folks to submit in terms of um, the movie poster. So, first off, the project overview is basically the whole purpose of this project is to showcase the skills that you have learned by watching the videos and practicing using the tools of Photoshop. That's the main concern for this project, not the art aspect of it. I'm sure a lot of you folks are very artistic and can create wonderful movie posters. I'm more concerned about your skills using Photoshop than I am with the overall look of your poster. Now, that doesn't mean I want an ugly looking poster or something really simplistic. I do want a nice looking poster, but that's not the main gist of the project. The main focus is to show that you folks understand the use of the Photoshop tools and all of the other features associated with the Photoshop software. Okay. Now, as we move on here, am going to put out an assignment later today. As I'm making this video, this is Thursday. So I'm going to put out an assignment later this evening for you folks to start your movie poster synopsis. And if you take a look on the class website on the Photoshop project site, under the process and thinking, um, here it is. Using the instructions provided within the movie poster synopsis guide assignment. So that assignment I am going to put up on Laulima later this evening. Okay. And basically what you're going to write is probably about a half-page synopsis on what your movie poster is about. And in order to get inspiration for your synopsis or what you want to write, there's a whole bunch of resources out there. You folks can use iTunes, for example. Do not plagiarize, folks. Do not copy and paste from these websites. I just want you folks to look at the website for inspiration and to get a general idea of what I want. Here's another website called dvdreleasedates.com. Use them as a model and then write a brief, succinct synopsis of your movie. Determine the basic plot, film genre, cast of characters, environment setting, and general time frame. Now let me give you an example of a former student's movie poster synopsis. By the way, this movie poster synopsis example will also be on the assignment that I post up later this evening. So you'll have this exact synopsis here written out in the assignment so that you folks can take a look at it. So don't feel that you have to take a screenshot or keep watching this video to get everything here. This will be included in the assignment as a written text uh, within the assignment area so you folks can take a look at it. So basically, I want your folks' name, Art 112, Photoshop movie poster project, and then movie poster synopsis, title of your fictitious movie for your movie poster, basic plot. In this example, the student Ryan here, he basically focused his plot into two sentences. So don't feel that you folks have to write a really elaborate plot. Just a couple of sentences, two, three, four sentences that gets the main gist of the movie, all within those sentences. You don't have to write a whole story, folks. I'm not looking for that. Something short and succinct. Film genre. You can have one genre, you can have multiple. It doesn't matter to me, but you have to have at least one. So whether it be horror, comedy, sci-fi, um, Ryan also has LGBTQ, coming of age, and romance. So there's multiple genres out there. Action and adventure. I'm sure you folks know the rest. Okay, put that there. Cast of characters. Now, this particular section is where I usually get a lot of questions regarding what pictures you folks can use. Uh, I want you folks to use pictures of live people, like people actually alive, or if they have passed, that's fine, but actual people, animals, actual pictures of animals. Now, I have in the past gotten questions if cartoon characters or anime characters can be used. And well, I don't really recommend it. I kind of want you folks to concentrate on live action people. I do make an exception and allow you folks to use cartoon characters and anime characters, provided that you pull those images from the internet. Okay? I do not want any hand drawn or any pictures drawn by you to be put in your project. Okay? So, in other words, you have to pull whatever image you use in your movie poster from the internet. Okay? Whether it be Google, image search, or wherever you get the image from, it has to be from the internet. Nothing can be created by you to be put into the movie poster. It has to be an already pre-existing image on the internet. Or if you folks want to use images of yourself or your family, like a digital picture from a digital camera or yourself, well, maybe not cell phone unless it's high quality. You can use those pictures as well, but nothing drawn or created by you. Okay. If you have any questions about a certain character or picture you want to use in your movie poster and you're unsure if I'll accept it, just shoot me an email, attach the picture, let me know what you want to do with it, and I'll let you know whether or not I'll accept it. Okay? Now, also, you folks want to include environment setting, like, say, for example, is it in a city? Is it in a country? Is it on a space station? Is it on the moon? A little bit context in where the setting of the most of the movie takes place. Does it take place in two different planets, Mars and Earth, whatever? Okay. General time frame. In Ryan's example here, the story takes place within the freshman year of high school. Okay. So what I do not want you folks to write is like for general time frame. I don't want just a few words like in the future. That's too vague. Okay. I want you folks to give a little bit more substance than in the future. So how about 30 years in the future, post apocalyptic wartime? That's a little bit more of a vivid explanation where I can really picture it. Okay, folks? So try to be, a little specific, but don't feel that you folks have to write out an entire story. Okay? As I said before, succinct, but enough information for me to read and get a general idea of what your movie poster will be about. Okay, enough with that. Let's move on to the images of the, the students here. Let me start off with Alex. Now, she created a movie poster with her favorite characters here. Okay. So, of course, you got Spider Man and his girlfriend and Thor. But it does look like they've been turned into vampires because of the title here, Blood Moon Rising. I'm surprised she doesn't have any, I forget the name of that movie, with the vampire movie. It's just, it's escaping me right now, but I'm sure you folks know who I'm talking about with that Robert. Anyway, there's just a werewolf, I guess, Team Jacob, and forget the other guy. Anyway, I wasn't into those movies, so let's move on. You got Winter Soldier here, and Star Wars girl, and Thor's ex girlfriend here. So as you can see, the movie poster is not that complicated, but it is clean, and I like the vibrant colors for Audrey's movie poster here. Moving on, we got Bridget's poster here. Got a sort of a Halloween type vibe, um, Halloween slash Harry Potter, even though you got a Lord of the Rings Gandalf there. So, not bad. Now, some of the movie posters you notice have the billing block. The billing block is basically where all the actors and actresses and studio name is located. You folks usually see that at the bottom of the posters, okay? Just like this. It is not required, it is optional. And I do provide this font so for you folks to write out the billing. And that font is located here on the movie poster project page in the downloads section, right here, billing block. It's actually, I believe if you unzip this, it's a different title. But billing block is what this is right here, okay, where the actors and actresses names are. But the actual font name, I think, is different from billing block. In any case, this is where you download it. And a little bit down the road, a little bit later, maybe in about another week or two, I'm going to put up a video of how to install the font on or into your Photoshop installment or installation. Right now, don't worry about the billing block or the text. This is probably your last step, putting this part on, if you folks want to put it on. If you notice, Bridget's poster here doesn't have the billing block. As I just mentioned, it is not a requirement, but if you want that real authentic movie poster look, then I recommend you folks using it. Otherwise, there are other types of movie posters that are more of a promotional poster where you just see the title, and some of the posters also have the opening date underneath the title. However you choose to show your layout, I at least want the title. Okay, folks? Whether or not you put the movie poster, or I'm sorry, the billing block or the release date is up to you, but you have to at least have the title. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is Kimberly's right here. Now, in this picture, she used her own cat. Her own cat is in the astronaut suit there. All these other cats are pulled from Google. Okay. This is Moni's movie poster. A little bit of a high school horror Japanese flick. Okay. Real nice soft pastel colors here. And this is Rachel's. Now, this is a good example of what I meant by not actual people. You can use cartoons or anime characters, but they have to be pulled from the internet. Now, I'm not sure which novel this is from, but Rachel had her favorite series of novels, and I guess this is the cover art for those novels. So she used those pictures for her movie poster. So you folks can do that because these pictures already exist on the internet. In other words, she didn't draw any of these. Okay, so if you folks want to use cartoon characters, whether they be, I would try to stay away from Disney characters, only because we don't want to get sued. With the anime characters, uh, maybe we can get away with it. You know, we're not in Japan, and I don't really mean we'll get sued, but we want to try to limit, copyrighted characters as much as possible. Okay, folks. So if you have any questions about the characters that you want to put into your movie poster, send me some of the images and I'll let you know. And finally, this is Ryan's. Ryan um, has that synopsis that I showed you folks. I wonder if I still have that up. No. Anyway, the synopsis that I just showed you folks an example of the text file. This is his actual movie poster. Now, one thing I want to stress is that even though you may write something in your movie synopsis, it doesn't mean you actually have to put it into your poster. For example, if this boy here, say he comes from the space station that's circling the Earth. Now, if you don't put a picture of the space station behind of him, I'm not gonna knock points off. Okay. Say if he was from New York. Now, it might be nice to put the New York City skyline behind of him, just to give a little bit of context. But if you don't put New York, that's fine. The whole reason for having New York in a synopsis is just to give me, as the reader or viewer of your poster, a little bit more context or background of the main character here. But it's not absolutely necessary to transfer everything you write in your synopsis into your movie poster. Okay? Say if he's a fighter pilot, prodigy, 15-year-old fighter pilot prodigy. If you don't have a fighter jet in the background, that's fine. Okay? Maybe you want to make him create a picture of him holding helmet, like a fighter pilot helmet. At least put something, but you don't have to put every single detail. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, folks? So that's the last example for the movie posters. So hopefully, you folks got sort of an idea of what I'm expecting. Now, for the contact sheets, okay, I'm going to briefly go over the contact sheets here. Um, if you notice in the movie poster project requirements, there's a section called a contact sheet of all unedited images used in your poster. That's one of the items you folks have to hand in with your final project. Okay, and it'll be saved as a Photoshop PDF. Now, I'll give you some examples of contact sheets. So here's Alex's. You remember Alex is the one that had Spider-Man and Zendaya in it. So when I say I want a contact sheet, I want a sheet of all the images you use in your movie poster, but unedited. Okay. So if you remember how her poster looked like, then these are the pictures before she pulled them out and edit them in Photoshop. Here's Kimberly. If you remember her astronaut or castronaut or whatever she calls it, this is a picture of her actual cat. All the other cats were images pulled from Google, but she put the head of her cat into the astronaut suit. Okay, and I'll show you her project folder after this. And if you remember, Moni's picture was the kind of like a high school horror Japanese style. These are the pictures that she got from that. Okay, so these three are examples of a contact sheet. All of your unedited images that you use in your movie poster has to be placed on a sheet like this and saved as a PDF and submitted along with your JPEG of your movie poster and a PSD file. Now I'm going to show you an example of the actual folder that you folks will be submitting. So, coming back here to movie poster project requirements, you will be uploading a zipped folder. So you do have to zip your folder containing the deliverables listed below. So 3 deliverables, 3 items in a zip folder has to be sent to me at the end of this 5-week period. Item number 1, your Photoshop document, your PSD file. That's the first item. The second item is a JPEG of your movie poster. Okay, I just showed you several JPEGs of the movie posters that students have submitted to me in the past. Third is a PDF contact sheet, which I just showed you, of unedited images that you use in your movie posters. So those 3 items in a zip folder, and you will upload them through the UH file drop system. And here is the link. Okay. Now the internet here on KCC campus is running pretty slow, but let me see if I can go through here. So let me log in. Okay, so this is how the UH file drop system looks like. You will have your email address, the recipient, of course, I'll be the recipient, so my email address should be written here. If the recipient is a UH person, you may additionally require the recipient to log in before retrieving the files. That's up to you, yes or no. Expiration timer. How long the files will be available for me to download. Leave it at 5 days, okay? Then you're going to proceed. Let me just put in, I'm not sure, I didn't try this before. Let's see if I can use my own email address as a recipient. Let's see if the system will take that. Your recipient will be Joseph K. Maya UH. If this is not you, okay? So it gives you an opportunity to browse for where your file is. And once you select your file, you click open. So let's try that now. And then you can click start upload. Okay, you can even put a description like Photoshop movie poster project. So when you click on here, you're going to choose your zipped file, click open, and then click start upload. Then it should provide you with the link, and I believe it'll send me an email with the link. I'm not too sure. Okay, I haven't used the UH file drop system before, so I'm fairly new to this as well. Okay, but this is pretty much straightforward, so you folks should be able to get to it. Once again, the link is right here, and I'll mention this again in the announcement section like a week or 2 before the project is due. So you will hand in a zip folder, Your zipped folder that contains these three items here should be named with your name. So johndoe.zip. And that's what you're going to upload through the UH file drop system. Okay, I think that's clear enough for you folks. Now to give you an example of the zipped folder. So you're going to have three items in the zipped folder. I'll use Kimberly's folder for example. So you remember Kimberly had the cat poster. So this is a JPEG, as you can see right here. Next is her contact sheet. So you notice her cat right smack dab in the middle there. And now you see her cat's face there. You see these cats, I believe these three cats here. And here they are. See the picture of the earth? Here's the picture of the earth. Okay. The one thing I noticed that she did not put in here, that she has in her movie poster, is the astronaut suit. Okay. I want everything that ends up in your movie poster in your contact sheet. Okay, folks? And finally, her PSD. So let me click on that right now. And here's her PSD. And I'll be able to look through her PSD here and determine how she did her project. Okay. So those three items, folks: JPEG, contact sheet as a PDF, and finally your PSD file. It has to be zipped with your name and submitted to the UH file drop site. Now, in the meantime, as I mentioned before, I will have you folks do an assignment that will be due next week, Friday, and that is your folks' movie synopsis. So I will post this assignment up on Laulima tonight, later this evening. As you can see, as of the making of this video, it's around 8 in the morning. About 6 o'clock tonight, this will go live as an assignment. And you folks will have until next week, Friday, which is September 6th, to submit this movie poster synopsis. And once more, if you folks need, inspiration or some ideas as how to write out the basic plot, what you folks will want to do is visit sites like DVD Release Dates. That's the name of the website. Here you go, dvdreleasedates.com. This is the same site that I have listed right here. Okay. You could just type into Google DVD release dates. I get the same site. So if you click on that, you have a whole bunch of movies to choose from to, get inspiration. Let's go with Pikachu here. So this is the movie plot. Okay. Fairly short. You got the genres here for an example. So Pikachu is an action adventure, comedy, sci-fi, mystery, family movie. And of course, you have your characters there. Now, in Ryan's example, he also listed the fictitious character names. You don't have to do that, folks, okay? If you folks want to, just put the actual actors' names. Now, if you have cartoon characters, then of course you're gonna have the fictitious names, right? Whatever fictitious names you folks want. But for the actual live people there, the actors and actresses, you could just put their names. Okay, I guess that pretty much covers a little bit more in-depth info about the movie poster project. If you folks have any questions regarding the movie poster after seeing this video, feel free to email me. Okay. And one last thing before ending this video, I wanted to mention some of you folks might have already gone through all of these videos and you're waiting for the next set of videos to appear. If you folks are um, ahead, I recommend, if you folks haven't done so already, downloading the PDFs, because these two lecture note PDFs have the entire Photoshop course already, um, I guess, laid out in text form. So you folks can jump ahead and read, um, about all the tools and actions in Photoshop. Okay. Um, I'm, as far as the videos go, I'm jumping around a bit. Um, so what is listed here may not be in the same chronological order as the videos I release, but the information is still pretty much the same thing. The next set of videos I'll be releasing will be the brush tools, clone stamp, healing brush, so on and so forth. Okay, so what these pages in a PDF do is give you pretty much just an explanation of the video and their basic function. And then the videos will show you folks the tool in action with an actual image. Okay. And all of the images I'll be using in my demonstrations, as I mentioned before, come from this download, which is the Photoshop class files, if you folks ever wanted to follow along with my videos. Okay, so for those of you folks who are trying to stay ahead of the game and want more content that I'm putting out, go ahead, download these, read through them, and when my videos come out, you folks can see the tools in action. Okay? So other than that, that should be it for this announcement video. And I'll see you folks in the next video.